Guys, welcome. Today is the 2nd of May, and it's a Monday, and I start the trek tomorrow. So I thought I'd do this quick video just to give you guys a bit of an introduction as to what I'm taking with me on the trek. So basically I'm going to pull apart my backpack and you'll see exactly what I'm taking. I'll go through things very briefly, as I've only got about 12 minutes of recording time left on this stick. I'll keep this really short and sweet. My pack is down here, so I have to turn the camera down there. So I'll take it from the top. So this here is the toilet paper. Now this, I'm not sure if you can see it because I got this on live view as well. So the toilet paper is in a Ziploc bag. You probably think it's kind of weird, but if I were to fall off one of the logs into the river, if I'm doing a river crossing and everything in my bag were to get wet, then the only thing that probably wouldn't get wet, hopefully, is the toilet paper. So it's kind of weird, but I think it's a good idea to have the toilet paper in a Ziploc bag. So toilet paper, Ziploc bag, no need to worry about wet toilet paper. This is a chamois. Now the chamois is in a Ziploc bag of its own. I actually had this given to me at the Health and Fitness Expo when I did a DEXA scan there only a few days ago. They gave me this chamois towel and in a bag which is zip-locked, which I think is pretty awesome. I thought, well, I can use this when I take it to the Kokoda trek. So this is my towel that I'll use when I wash myself in the rivers at the end of every day, and then I have something to dry myself off on, and which I'll use this towel. So that's the dry towel that I'll use, the bowl. And here I've got salt. Now this is sea salt, which I'll be using to mineralize my water. So essentially I've got 4 litres of water. I've got 2 litres in a bladder system, which is inside the bag, and I've got 2 1-litre bottles, which I'm also using this Staminade here, as you can see, but I'm halfway down in the Staminade. I've been using it while I've been here, and I've also been using it before I started the trek, as in before I flew into Port Moresby. So I've been using some of this for my training as well, just to become familiar with the taste. So essentially this contains sodium, potassium, magnesium, and a few other bits and pieces that will essentially provide a good electrolyte source for my trek. Now it's a lime flavour, a lemon lime flavour, so I don't really care as long as it provides the minerals that I need to keep me going. And then as a backup, I'm using sea salt as well. So I'll put about half a teaspoon of this per litre of water that I'll use, and that will go into my 2 1-litre bottles that I'll take with me as well. So I'm using sea salt and I'm using Staminade as an electrolyte source. And then I've got hydrolate in case the inevitable happens. And I've got some hand cream, and I've got, so this plastic bag, I'm not going to take everything out, but this contains the dry clothes that I'll be wearing around the camp at night. So this is what, basically it's a thermal bottom, thermal top, and I think there's another pair of hiking shorts in there as well. So they're all dries. And then I've got some backup Ziploc bags, and then I've got another, okay, so that's another gym top. And okay, so I've got 2 tops that I can wear for the trek, and then I've got a small cutlery set. So the small cutlery set contains a knife, fork and spoon, and they're collapsible. So it's pretty cool, like collapsible knife, collapsible spoon, collapsible fork, you get the idea. I bought that off eBay for like $3, can't go wrong. So it comes in a small pouch like this, pretty cool. And then I've got backup socks. So I've got sock pair 1, 2, and the 3rd pair I'll be wearing. This is my first aid kit. Now I'm not going to open this up, but if I just have a look, I've got Zyrtec Gastro Stop, some creams, a pair of scissors, safety pins, some tape, and some second skin, a bandage, and a few other bits and pieces in there. some aqua tabs so I can essentially put that into the water that I get from the streams. Oh, this is my favorite. Okay, I have to show this to you. Now this is a clean pair of underwear. Now they get their own Ziploc bag. I call these, this is the trophy. I call this the trophy of the whole trek, because it means that essentially this pair of underwear, right, I'll be wearing for 9 days, right? It's not going to be orange by the end of the trek. And at the end of it, I get to wear this fresh pair of underwear. So it's like a trophy because it's in a bag, and I get to look at it every single day, because it means at the end of the trek I get to wear it. So I'm pretty excited by that idea. It sounds kind of weird, but I'm sure I'll really appreciate it by the end of the trek. Now this is a tarp, piece of tarp that I'll use to put my tent on. And then I've got an air pillow. And then I've got my tent, I've got my sleeping bag, I have my bladder here on my camelback, which has 2 liters of water in it. And then I've got my tent, I've got my tarp that I put my tent on. I have my first aid kit, which I'll put that back in like that. And then just packing everything up again. So socks, and socks, like such. Now here's the other side of the kit. Now the top part of the kit is all my electronics. Now these are all the batteries that I'm taking for the GoPro. Now the GoPro uses these little tiny batteries, as you can see. Now these are 1600 milliamp hour batteries, whereas the standard GoPro battery is 1160 milliamp hours. So I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the GoPro, 11. I've got 11 total. So I have 11 GoPro batteries, which will supply the GoPro for the entire trek of charge. And what I'm doing is I'm putting those batteries inside a Ziploc bag in case the bag were to go underwater. I'm not going to lose half of my filming equipment. So then I've got 3 memory sticks and 1 in the GoPro, so that's 4. So that's 12 hours of footage at full high definition, 1080 at 25 frames a second. So that's 12 hours there. And then I've got 3 batteries, which are backup batteries for my head torch. So I'll put them in as well. So that will go in the Ziploc bag as such. And then I've got 2 Samsung backup batteries. Now that supplies this. Now this old S5 is driving my GoPro, so I know exactly what angles my shots are at. So I know, although I've got a screen on the back of the GoPro, it's sometimes hard with the body that I've got on the GoPro to know exactly what my angle is that I'm shooting. So I find that I can configure the settings and I can angle the shot using this phone. And to drive the S5 I need batteries, and because there's not going to be any opportunity to charge the S5 on the trek, I've had to take backup batteries for the S5, and then when they run out, then I have 2 backup battery supplies that I can use to charge this phone and the 11 GoPro batteries that I have here. So I've got the S5, 2 backup batteries for that, 11 backup batteries for the GoPro, 3 memory sticks at 64 gigabytes each, giving me 12 hours of 1080p 25 frames per second footage. I've got 2 filters for my water bottles, which I haven't been using because I haven't been drinking from streams. And then, sorry that I'm rushing through this, but I'm also considering my battery power at my capacity. Okay, so I've got some cords here. Now this cord will be the charging cable for the phone. This is a backup charging cord for the phone in case the first one fails. This is one of my charging cables that I'm using for the adapter that I'll use to charge the backup batteries for the GoPro. So this little device here is a charging device for the GoPro batteries. This cord is to hook up with this, which will hook up to the backup battery supplies that I have. So these 2 backup battery supplies are 10,000 milliamp hours each, and they will be the primary power sources for all of the GoPro batteries and the Samsung batteries for this trek. So these are like, this is like my master power supply. So this is what I'll use to charge everything to make this recording possible, to make this whole vlogumentary possible. So of course, me with my preparation mindset, like to think of the worst case possible scenario so that I can plan for, if I plan for the worst, I'm basically hoping for the best and that the worst won't happen. So when the worst, if it were to happen, I'm prepared for it. So all of the batteries are going into Ziploc bags. It means that they're all protected so that essentially if my bag were to get breached by water in some way, that at least these will be protected, hopefully anyway. So everything will go there, and the GoPro of course has a waterproof housing. So all water crossings and filming in rainy conditions and wet conditions, the GoPro I'll switch housings. Then if I flip the bag over, take all this stuff out. So I've got a whistle and a light. So my carabiner, one of my carabiners has a light. So carabiner has a light and a whistle for attracting attention. Just thought of that. And this bag contains all of my gels. Now, I think there are about 11 gels here. Now, I'm not a big fan of gels. So there's different brands of gels in case I hit a wall out there, and that will probably happen a few times, that I've got some quick carbohydrates that I can take to get me through. So I've got, I think, about 12 gels here. Some contain caffeine, and there's a kind of a bit of an argument about caffeine being dehydrative for athletes, endurance runners and so forth, but the amount of caffeine is quite small, and the energy the caffeine provides versus the dehydration effect of caffeine is found to be beneficial when caffeine's used in small amounts in these hydration gels.